I am nearly 59 years old, and what serums I've used, what devices I use. This is not a sponsored video. This video is not a collaboration with any of the products that I've used, any of the devices that I'm using here. They all have been purchased with my own money. Hi everyone, here I am again in my turban, and what are we discussing today? We're going to discuss everything about hair. Why? Because that's what everyone's been asking on my TikTok now for months and months and months. So this is a long overdue video all about my hair care journey and what I use from A to Z. That's what we're going to talk about today. So get your cup of tea ready, get yourselves comfortable, and here we go. So as I'm making this video, I can tell you now that I'm almost 59 years old. And on TikTok, as I sit live every evening, once a day, I find a lot of you have been asking me the same question. Samina, what do you do for your hair? So that's why I want to talk about what I do A to Z. And first and foremost, I want to talk about the vitamins I've been taking. What am I taking right now? Why I take them? And let's start. So first and foremost, biotin. I take �𝐨𝐵𝐽 biotin, which is 5,000 ug. So that's what I've been taking now for a number of years. But I do give myself a break with any multivitamins. I think it's good to let them flush out of your system and give yourself a break for a few weeks or even a few months, depends. But I have seen the difference when I'm not taking biotin and I'm taking the 5,000 ug strength, like I said. When I stop taking them, I have actually noticed the difference. So in the last couple of months, I also noticed that my hair was slightly thinning, which is inevitable. There's nothing, that can completely stop you as we age, that we're going to get hair thinning, we're going to get receding hairlines. यहाँ पे भी कम बाल हो जाने, वैसे भी सर पे कम बाल होने. We do lose a lot of hair, but if there's no hair growth, then obviously there's going to be thinning and you can see more of the scalp. So I was feeling that my hair feels a bit thin. So what can I take? So I spoke to my daughter and I said to my daughter, what did you do when after your baby was born, you were complaining about hair fall? Did you find something and did it work? So she told me and introduced me to Hairburst. She said, Mum, I used this last year and it was absolutely amazing. So these are the Hairburst multivitamins. And just to let you know, I've been taking them for 3 months along with the biotin. You take one of these a day, you can take a biotin one a day. So this is when you're thinking, just for maintenance, I would just carry on using the biotin. But because I found that my hair was thinning and I thought maybe it's thinning more than it normally is, that's when I started taking the Hairburst. And I've got my backup. I bought a 3 month supply. I finished the 3 month supply. This is my 4th month. And yeah, I've still got a fair amount in there. That's all I'm going to be taking. I will give myself a pause after 6 months and then I'll see where I am with my hair. So the benefits of biotin are that it's going to be really, really beneficial for your hair and for your nails. And because it's water soluble, the biotin, it flushes out. It doesn't store in the body, and that's the majority of the case with all the vitamin Bs. So that's your biotin benefits. Now the Hairburst, I did a little bit of my own research as well, and they were really, really good reviews. So the Hairburst has an array of different vitamins in there, and it's also got biotin, so you've got extra biotin in there. But like I said, do your own research. This video is purely to tell you what I'm using and what helps me. It may not help you. With any of these vitamins that I'm mentioning today, if you have any concern, do please talk to your doctor. Seek some medical advice, because if you have any underlying health conditions, they may contradict. So just be careful. I am just purely telling you what has worked for me, what I'm taking right now, and what I've been taking in the past. So yes, these Hairburst collagen tablets, also have collagen. So that's an added bonus for me. And it's got an array of different multivitamins. So those are the 2 vitamins. What I also like to do, which I may not get to do every week, is to massage some oil into my scalp. So I use a number of different oils. I've got black seed oil, olive oil, castor oil, and I buy from Amazon a little bottle of rosemary oil. The oils I use can vary. It all depends on the needs of my particular hair at the time, what I feel I might benefit from. But I definitely use black seed oil. I like to heat the oil up, so not to cook it or burn the oil, but slightly warm it up. I like warm oil in my scalp. So get a heat-proof little container. I'll show you. I'll just try to put a little clip on here of a heat-proof little container. I've done this live on TikTok many times. I put my oils in there, so I'll put 2 oils. So it'll be castor oil and some black seed oil, and it might be 2/3 of the black seed oil. And then I add some rosemary essential oil. So the rosemary essential oil, I purchased mine from Amazon, and they've lasted a very long time because all you need to do is add about 4 or 5 drops in your little pot with your other oils that you're heating up. And don't heat this up. I just warm up the oil, then I add 4 or 5 drops of the rosemary essential oil. Because it's a essential oil, you need to add a few drops in another oil, so it acts like a carrier, so you can't use that directly on your scalp. So that's what I do, and I've done that many times live on TikTok, and a lot of you are doing that. I find that when you're massaging the oil into the scalp, right, so it's mainly about the scalp, you're invigorating the hair follicles. You're circulating blood flow, which then obviously is going to help with the hair growth. With this technique of actually massaging the oil with your fingertips into your scalp, I'll see if I've got a footage of it and I can show you how I do that. A lot of Asian women already do this. It's part of our culture as well. They do this at a very young age. The mothers are sitting there massaging the oil in the scalp, and that's why they've got this long hair. Then they plait the hair while they've still got oil. I like to leave the oil overnight if possible. If not, then I will apply it first thing in the morning, and I'm working from home, and then in the evening I'll wash my hair. So I like to leave it for a number of hours. Best, I find, if you can leave it overnight, and I just wrap, like I have this, I have a scarf, a thick scarf, I'll wrap around my hair, and then I'll sleep, and then that doesn't actually cover it doesn't stain the pillows at all. So that's the benefit of that. But like I said, oil, by massaging the oil, you are actually increasing blood circulation, and the blood circulation will help the growth of hair. Let's move on to shampoos and conditioners. So in the shower, what do I use? I have 3 sets. It may be a little bit too much for you, but it works for me. So I have 3 sets of shampoos and conditioners that I like to use, and I rotate depending on whether I've got oil in my hair, whether it's just a wash that I'm doing, a regular shampoo, or whether I've got hair dye on. So I do have them, and I use them for different needs. So I've been using these on and off for a number of years, but I do rotate. So I do buy some high-end products. I like to use some, maybe mix it up with some that you can buy from supermarket as well. So I shampoo my hair twice a week, not more than twice a week, unless there is a reason I'm going somewhere and it needs washing. I wash my hair twice a week. And I personally believe overwashing also can cause drying of the hair, scalp as well. Hence people end up with dandruff in certain circumstances. So the shampoo and conditioner I use is the 𝐟𝐸𝐾𝐿. The 𝐟𝐸𝐾𝐿 Super Soft, All Soft Mega Curls. And that's a 1 litre, as you can see, 1 litre of conditioner, 1 litre of shampoo. So that's one of the ones I like. So like I said, I'll do some close-ups for you to see as well. Shampoo and conditioner, this works for me. The one I'm using for those days where it's particularly dry in my hair, and I feel like it is quite dry, because you've got to be mindful that the pollution plays a role as well. When we're out and about, the sun rays, when it's raining, when it's windy, when it's cold, it all causes some kind of damage to the hair. So the Kerastase, I've got this particular set, which is the Resistance. So that's the shampoo and conditioner I have, and I've got a backup as well. So I'll show you a insert of the backup, and these that I have, I like to keep backups, especially if they're on offer. So these, I think I picked them up from Sephora, and they must have had like 20% off. Keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested. Now, they do a different range. They do a variety of different ones. So always look out for the needs for your particular hair. And I'm of a certain age, my hair is coloured. We'll move on to hair colouring in a bit as well. So that's those are the three sets. When my hair I find is particularly dry and needs a little bit more TLC, I'll use some hair masks. And I've got a number of hair masks from Beauty Pie as well. So while I'm in the shower, also just to remind you, when I put the shampoo on, I like to use this massager for the hair, right? And so any build-up of product, whether that's some serums, some mousses that you use, or even hair dye, it's good to remove that. But also, again, it's helping with the blood circulation as well. So I use that. And I like to comb my hair when I've got the conditioner on. Before I wash off the conditioner and my hair is nice and soft, I use this with a wide tooth comb. You can see there, it's quite wide. So I use that, and that is the only time I will comb my hair. So I use that in the shower when I've got the conditioner. I'll wash off the conditioner. Once I've washed off the conditioner and I'm in my bedroom drying my hair, placing products, I do not use any other comb after that. No brush, no comb. And that's how I dry my hair. So let's move on. I think I've covered everything there. Now let's move on to the serums that I'm going to use. So another important thing, before we move on to hair serums and styling products and how I style my hair, I want to mention also about hair, because I want to cover everything about hair today. And it's how I dye my roots at home. So my grey roots I dye at home, but I use professional hair dye. I don't buy the supermarket hair dyes, and I don't recommend them. So as you've all been asking, what hair dye I use. So I use a professional hair dye. I buy them from Sally's Capital Hair. You can get them from Amazon as well. And if you want to catch me dyeing my roots at home, then just make sure you're following me on TikTok and you have the notifications on. So it just randomly, if I'm dyeing it, I will switch the camera on and I can show you how I measure it and how I do it. So like I said, the hair dye I use is ammonia free. It's this brand, and I've got about a year's supply. I bought it all online. There was an offer like buy 5 and get the 6th one free, something like that. So I brought myself a whole year's supply of this. So I've got this, and I've used the 𝐬𝐿𝐵𝐿 one, entirely up to you, but I do not like the supermarket one because I just find it's too harsh and damaging. So I've been using this now for a number of years. Now let's move on to serums. Let's move on to hair products after I've had washed my hair. So we've covered everything. Now is the time, the moment of truth. What do I use on my hair? So this towel I've had now on for my hair for about an hour. These turbans that they've made, these terry turbans, absorb excess water from your hair. So I just put that on. I've got no product. That's how I came out of the shower. And now I'm going to show you what I use. The first product I'm going to use is this Bumble & Bumble Invisible Oil. I've also got a backup of this. Did I bring the backup here? Yes, I did. I've got the backup from the bathroom. I've got it here. So this is the backup. If I find it's on special offer, I will buy the backup and I will keep it. It lasts a very long time. So this is how I'm going to apply it on my hair. So the Bumble & Bumble, I just like to spray this just all over. I'm not drenching it. So it's just got a very fine coating of the Bumble & Bumble Invisible Oil. It softens the hair, it detangles it, it defrizzes it, and what else does it do? Oh gosh, I say, and it even protects your hair from any heat styling and UV damage. So, but I will use a separate heat protectant spray as well. So that's what I spray all over my hair. The next product I love is from Beauty Pie. So I'm sorry I'm going to have to mention Beauty Pie, but I do love a number of their products, and one of these is this super healthy serum, hair serum, and it's got 7 oils, 7 different oils in it. I've mentioned it. If you don't know what Beauty Pie is, do check out the Beauty Pie video. I'll try to link that at the end of this video so you can all check out what is Beauty Pie, because you won't be able to find this in your stores on the high street. So I like to just 2 little pumps, and I'm going to apply this all over my hair. I don't apply it to the top of my hair. I will apply it from the mid length all the way down. And that's all I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to let my hair dry naturally as possible, because I'm going to use the Dyson Airwrap to style my hair. That's what I use. Twice a week when I wash my hair, I use the Dyson Airwrap to style my hair, and it lasts me 3 days. It can last me even longer, the style. So I'm just going to leave that, and I'm going to let my hair dry naturally. Then we'll be back and I'll show you what other products I use. So as the hair is drying, I'm going to now start applying the rest of the products that I like to use. So embrace yourselves, because they are a number of products, but that's just how I style my hair. So first and foremost, the 𝐬𝐻 Extra Large Bombshell Volumizer. I use a lot of the 𝐬𝐻 products. I've got more than these for different occasions, for different needs, but this is what I would use regularly, unless and until there's other things, like you need a dry shampoo. I use the Living Proof one. If you need maybe something to texturize your hair, and maybe you've washed it, it's been 3 days and you don't want to wash it and you're in a hurry to go somewhere, then I've got different hairsprays, I've got texturizing, volumizing, I've got all sorts of different stuff. So that's what I'm going to use first and foremost. So just a couple of pumps of this, and this is what I'm going to apply to not the ends, but the middle of my hair, I would say. And then to the roots, I like to apply the 𝐬𝐻 Root Lift. And that just gives, especially if you've got thinning hair at the top, like we would do, which is natural, absolutely natural for your hair as we age, that we will get thinning hair there. So just to give it a bit of volume and a bit of lift, that's it. So because I catch the train into London when I'm working, I work in central London. So when I go in perhaps a couple of times a week, I will make sure that I've used this Dream Coat. And as it says on the bottle, it does exactly the same. It is like a dream coat for your hair. It protects your hair, and it will not frizz up, it will not boof up, so it won't do any of that stuff. It's amazing. So I highly recommend this, but I'm not going into London today, and I'm not going into London tomorrow, so I'm absolutely fine. I won't put a coat of this on. I will spray this if I'm going into London, or if I'm going anywhere where it's going to be humid. So if I'm traveling to Dubai, I will definitely take this with me. It's humid there right now, and I don't want my hair just puffing up. So I will spray this, and I can show you in a different video how I apply that. To the ends of my hair, I like to use this like it's a leave-in conditioner. It's the Olaplex number 6 Bond Smoother. So I use this. So that's all I'm going to use. That's all I'm going to use of the leave-in conditioner. Rub that between my palms just to warm it up. And this is what I'm going to use, because I don't want anything else weighing down my hair, to the ends of my hair. And one final product before drying, it's not the final product on my hair, but before I dry my hair, I want to put a heat protectant. And at the moment, this is what I've been using for the past 1 month. I've got a couple of more I've got in my drawer, but this is what I'm using at the moment. I'm loving it. Or I can section my hair. So I would section my hair and then I would dry my hair and then I'll apply a coating of this spray on my hair. I find that the Dyson Airwrap is less damaging for my hair. If I was going to use a tongue or if I was going to use a straightener, this is less damaging. That's what I found. And I've been using the Dyson Airwrap now for over 2 years. Over 2 years it's been. So now when we come to drying of the hair, before I start drying for the Dyson Airwrap, I want to make sure my hair is about 70 to 80% dry. So either I let it dry naturally. If I haven't got time, then I'm going to use the hair dryer tool of the Dyson Airwrap. Right, when I dry my hair, I like to toss my hair right and left. You'll find that just gives it a little bit of volume at the top as well. And so just watch me do this. Right, so now that I've got my hair about, let's say, I'd say it's about 70 to 80% dry, I want to apply some of this. I just find this Kerastase oil elixir, you can actually add it you can apply it at the end, but I use the Olaplex at the end. But I just want to put this before I start styling my hair, just a very little bit. It gives it a lovely suppleness and shine. Although it may look like I've used a number of products, I haven't put large quantities on my hair. It still feels very natural. It still feels very light. No sticky residue. No sticky residue. It's actually feeling very, very soft. And all of these actually help. So what I will do, I will apply this, and I've also got the 1 Minute Miracle from Wow. So at the end, if you find, or the next day, you find that your hair is a bit frizzy and you've got flyaways, just put a little pea-sized drop, smooth it on your scalp, and I'll show you which one it is as well. Like I said, I will list the products underneath. And yeah, it just smooths all the flyaway hair. Now, just as before I start drying it with the Dyson, I want to show you that this is where the new growth, that is your new growth I've got. And at the top, my hairdresser, when she cut my hair, also told me she can see a lot of baby hair, new hair growing. So you've got spikes of little hair growing. So that shows me that the biotin and the hair burst are doing a fantastic job. And like I said before, and I'm going to say this again and again in the video, none of these products are a collaboration. These are solely bought with my own money, and I'm only telling you because these are actually working for me. These are what I use. They work on my hair, and they're not sponsored. So this is not a sponsored video. Just bear that in mind, please. Right, so let's now section the hair and let's get drying. So this is the 1 minute transformation. I was talking about the Wow product, and I'll show you a close-up of that as well. And Aveda, I want to show you some of the Aveda products that I use. And I've got some living proof. I have an array of different products. I use them because maybe they're little miniature travel sizes, they call them. So whether I'm going on a staycation, a weekend away, or whether I'm going abroad. So I use them for different reasons. It could be that I don't want to dry my hair with a tool. I want to dry it naturally. So this is your curl enhancing kind of a hairspray. That's amazing as well. And then I've got the 𝐵 cream here as well. All of these products are amazing, good products, and I've got some living proof ones as well. So now moving on to drying the hair. So after you've dried your hair, so for styling the hair, I'm going to use the thinner barrel today. Normally I would use a thick barrel. I use different barrels for different reasons. And I can start just styling it, grabbing the hair. I have done a number of videos where I have dried my hair, and I do it on live as well when I'm doing a get ready with me. There's an Urdu get ready with me as well where I've done my whole hair with the Dyson Airwrap. I don't want to make this video too long as well, but yeah, have a look at some of the videos where I have dried my hair, and that's how I'm going to leave it. As you can see, there are like some new hair. I can see some new hair, smaller, shorter hair, and that is the new hair that's growing. Right, now I'm going to go and dry the rest of my hair in front of the mirror. Right, we can do this very quickly. Right, so that's my hair done. I am going to let it cool down. Once it's cooled down, then I'm going to apply a couple of drops in the palms of my hand, the Olaplex bonding oil. So what I do is, once my hair is cooled down, I can show you now, a couple of drops, rub it on my palms, and then I'm just going to tease my hair gently. And it gives it a lovely shine, and Obviously it's protecting the hair as well and keeping it supple and a beautiful shine. Just gonna let it cool down, and then I'll just see what else needs doing. Now if I need to apply any hairspray, I can use this or the 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐞 Curl Enhancing Hairspray, and I will list all the products underneath. Just know that this is not a sponsored video. This video is not a collaboration with any of the products that I've used, any of the devices that I'm using here. They all have been purchased with my own money. I hope you find this video beneficial. You've been asking for this for a number of months now. I hope you all enjoy it. If there's anything that you want me to explain further or do a separate video on, please leave a message underneath in the comment section, and I read all your comments. Do leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, do please subscribe, because there's many more videos to make. I'm going to share a lot of content about my anti-aging journey, how almost mashallah, I am nearly 59 years old, and what serums I've used, what devices I use. I'm gradually bringing them on this page to show you, so that more of you can benefit from what I have been benefiting from. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care everyone. Goodbye. And I will always give you my honest opinion. I don't want you to waste your money. And I've tried various products throughout the years, and these are what I'm using currently, and they work. And do your own research, especially with the multivitamins. Like I said, any health concerns, please do consult with your medical professional, whoever that may be, and seek some advice from them before you want to take any of those multivitamins. They've all helped me, and I'm very happy with them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will make more content like this. Anything else you want to know, please leave a note underneath in the comment section, and I will pick it up, and I will read your comments like I always do, and I will respond. Aging is inevitable, but we can slow it down, right? So if you want firmer skin, you want even skin tone, you're dealing with pigmentation, you're dealing with melasma, you've got concerns about your fine lines and wrinkles, all of these either have been covered in some of the videos. I will cover them regularly and bring you up-to-date information on any of the products if I've changed them. Do watch these videos if you are interested in learning more about anti-aging, and I will then, maybe what I'm going to do is make detailed videos on each product, maybe, like for example vitamin C and all the different types of vitamin C out there in the market. It can be quite confusing. And also SPF, the mineral and the chemical SPFs, and the difference between them, and which ones work well under makeup, and those that you can use as top-ups as well. So that's what. Thank you for watching. Take care everyone, and until next time, goodbye from me. Bye-bye.